Hi YouTube, how you doing? I'm having a pretty good day. Got a lot of stuff done. Yeah, it's snowing out. It's let me see, 1:39. Yeah. Um, PM. So I thought, well, I better get my video done now in case I can't because sometimes the weather will interrupt my internet service with the satellite dish. That I really don't believe in satellites. I think there are some, but I don't think it's like they say that it is. I think most of our service is still through fiber optics with the use of satellites and the fiber optics. That's my opinion. But what I know, I don't know nothing. So cheers, everybody. So, who knows, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna suggest that all the women in the world stop wearing makeup. Then we're gonna be able to know who the pretenders are. Just let the men wear the makeup, you know. You're beautiful enough. Women are beautiful with no makeup. Men have to wear makeup. Some women feel like they have to feel beautiful. It depends on how vain we are or not. Seriously. If you saw me in person, I have so many scars and all over me. I probably have about, this is including like bug bites and probably over 20,000 scars, if not more. I have thousands and thousands of scars on me that you'd have to totally refurbish every inch of my skin, not even just inches, I mean down to, I mean all of me. There's barely a spot where I'm not all scarred up and maimed and whatever, right? We're only here temporary. Let the men wear the makeup. If these freaks want to be freaks, then we'll know who they are. You could spot them. It's just like, well, I was going to say something mean there, but it wasn't going to sound too good either. So I'm going to try and limit that a little more. But if it comes out, it's coming out, and I wouldn't take it back or feel ashamed about it or anything. So don't think that. So if I get like that, I'm just getting like that. So, and that's not wicked. I had a conversation with Doug about not actually joining in with the wickedness on this planet, even though I've had mean thoughts. It's the same hatred for the things that God hates too. So that's not included in wickedness. That's included in love and protecting people. So that's kind of more than a soldier, you know. Um, most soldiers, unless they're a medic or a doctor, aren't going to learn how to save your life. They're going to learn how to take it. I started out wanting to save people's lives, but then ended up having to learn Mortal Kombat, unfortunately. So that's who they made me to be. So now they better beware. So anyway, I'm a product of my environment. I heard when people started using that, probably in about the 90s or so, that was uh it helped people take them out of their liability, like they weren't responsible for anything in their life. It's like, oh, I'm just a product of my environment. So if I'm a psychopath, you're just going to have to deal with it because that's what happened to me. And the consequences. I don't have to be responsible because I'm a product of my environment. Yeah. Well, believe me, the men that are trying to be more beautiful than women, you are not a product of your environment. You are working for your master. And this woman, for one, is your enemy. And I'm not one that's going to say, oh, that man looks quite beautiful now that it looks like a woman. Hey, I've met guys that have more feminine features from their mother, perhaps, or it could have even been passed on from their father. But that doesn't mean that they're going to work for Satan to use, like, maybe their cheekbones or to enhance big eyes or whatever they have, you know, to work for the dark cabal. And I'm not going to praise these people that are doing that. So, anyway, that's just me, you know. Like I told a ex almost transformed man that is now a man. But when he was calling himself Penelope, I wanted to know what his real name was, and I was sure that he wasn't quite like a woman, that he was probably a really good looking man, and I would like to see who God made him to be. And those are the words that help my friend be the man that God made him to be. At least help him on his way. So, and that's a true thing. That's how you approach it. You don't ignore it and sugarcoat it. You just up front say, um, whatever. No, it's not do what you want to do. People are the innocent people are getting over with all this. If you're helping them, you're helping Satan over people. If you want to be attracted to men dressed like women, that's on you. You know, there's a place for all y'all like that. And I don't have an argument with that. There is no argument, but the wickedness is going to end on this planet. You can say no, and a lot of people think no, it's not. Yes, it is. Eventually, it's going to take a very long time for all that to be cleaned up with the blood of Christ within people. But once those elders of that filth die, the flesh that is left will finally be consumed by the Christ Spirit, and everything will be okay someday. We're not there yet, obviously, but I'm surely not going to help people stay in the dark with comments that could deceive and harm and dissuade people from being normal. Let's kind of encourage people to be normal. So let's make it normal for women not to wear makeup. I mean, there is not going to be any doubt in anybody's mind unless you're a full-blown dyke, but usually there's no doubt in anybody's mind whether you're a male or a female. It's even like where was it, like somebody that Doug knew, and there was this dude with a purse, and the guy said, y- your purse does not make you a woman. Do you still have your, you know? And the guy started kind of arguing with him, and he said, look, man, you're not a woman. These people need to get over it. It's like if you have, um, let me see what would be a good example. Just a minute. This isn't oh, I have to choose my words. Just a minute. basically, if people don't think that it's a part of the battle to um, hurt the innocent, that's where you're deceived right there. Because that's it. This is all a part of what's been going on. It's not a shared world with the wicked that we need to become accustomed to and um learn how to like coexist and intertwine. No, that's what's been going on. We need to teach normalcy and what is expected in a society to thrive and point out what is criminal or mentally insane being the same thing as far as I'm concerned, unless you're autistic, have Down syndrome, or trauma based cluster B personalities are somewhat forgivable if a person has the self uh, um, essence of self, but not selfishness. If they can bring themselves out of the selfishness that cluster B personalities have, if you try, other people can help you. That's what I'm trying to say. If a person tries, but when you're working for the Dark Cabal and you're not actually mentally handicapped or physically handicapped, but you're playing a fucking game and you're trying to make me believe that you believe how insane you are, you're not insane, you're fucking demonic. And I can't prove it, but that's exactly what it is. And I'm not playing with these people. If you're playing patty cake with the devil, go sleep with the devil and stay there. That's exactly what everybody needs. Yes, show your hand. Put your makeup on, boys. Get yourself some mini skirts and let your stuff drag on the fucking sidewalk like some freak show bitch. At least I'll know who you are when I see you. So anyway, that's how I feel about that. Just envision that out in public. Why not, right? Like in New York City, it's legal for women to go shirtless. What's stupid in her mind, if you have a brain at all in your head, would you want to walk around like that? Because people were depicted what? Like Adam and Eve were nude, or the first people were nude. God can make skin, but he didn't know how to put any clothes on you. Is that it? Right. He can make planets and skin and cotton and hemp and everything to make clothing out of, but and and he can make skin, but he couldn't figure out how to put a blanket on anybody, right? Yeah, right. Fig leaf, right. And they covered themselves in fig leaves. Sounds more like they took fig leaves and used them for like mattress filler, that like I did with ferns. I would dry the ferns out, and I made actually like a double bed in my tent up on a mountain long time ago, up by Canada, by Idaho in Canada. Montana, Idaho, Canada. There's going up into the Canadian wilderness, just a beautiful, beautiful spot up there. Waterfalls, hot springs. It was awesome. But you take the vegetation and you dry it, and then you kind of layer it and until you have it really, really thick and put a blanket on top, you have a mattress, you know. So anyway, that's probably how they covered themselves with fig leaves. That's just my thought. That a lot of what you hear is just like total bullshit, you know. Oh, I am certain that a fig leaf in a garden would be the only thing I could find to cover myself. I think there would be better things than that. Even like take Spanish moss for instance, that hangs like if you go into like um the Delta and the southern United States and or Florida, and you see that moss hanging down from the trees, and um you could take that and braid it. You could bunch it and braid it, and you could actually weave it. Why not? So anyway, that's what I would use. It's softer than a fig leaf. So I don't think that our forefather and mother were actually that stupid. I would say it was more like they came here um, to actually help the satanic force grow out of its jealousy of the females. The men were jealous. And they killed her. That's the forbidden fruit. It's called murder. But God recreated her. It wasn't because she sinned. And then they came here to help people. Nobody fell except some jealous mother. And that was out of weakness that stems from the mind of God that we're here to help. I can't stress that enough. But in between here and there, there's a bunch of motherfuckers hurting people. And that's not allowed, you know. So a lot of people really need to get a grip on reality and stop playing games with people that are playing Satan's game. We're not playing out here. It's not funny. It's not flattering. It's not, it's criminal towards the innocence of it all. And I'm not going to sit here and just uh, go, oh, what a nice looking woman you make, man. No, not at all. I will offend you until you want to fight because you want me dead anyway. So I'm going to fight in every way I know possible. Anyway, and a lot of men have made this way personal for me. So if people hadn't put me in a certain position, I wouldn't be in that. But that's the time of day it is here. So eventually, yes, things will be washed out of this system. And it's going to take hundreds of years, if not thousands. But you need to make like a stencil when you're painting. You have to make up a pattern for the next generation. If you're patternless, if you have no point except self um what are you doing? You know, what is your purpose in the world? That'll tell you too who you serve. Do you have an actual purpose? Are you doing what you're purposed? Are you sure you are? To your fullest ability? Questions. Nothing I don't ask myself. Nothing I don't hold myself to. It's true. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is what I've been thinking today. Just let the dudes wear the makeup. Why not? Women are pretty enough without it, aren't you? Aren't we? Isn't every woman doesn't every woman have a beautiful smile? Isn't every man handsome in their own right? Aren't they? What see what the wrong is us not encouraging people's own beauty without falling into Satan's plan of God was mistaken when he made you. No, there were no mistakes. The mistake that's going on is people not supporting everybody. Actually, they say be yourself. Yes, please do. Please help everybody be themselves. That's our job. It's not our job to help the criminally, mentally insane continue down a filthy path of damnation. That's not our job, you know. See, people will see that clear when you actually, if you ever get to the point where you never want to sin, it'll be in you. It's not something you will have to strive for. I can't stand these people like I'm going to do better next year. No. You're either going to do better right now or you're not going to do better. And you might not ever do better with that attitude. Like if you think, oh, a little bit at a time. That's not how it works. It's you jump in with both feet. You don't just put your toes in the water. It's like I told my sons. It's like make your decision. You're either gonna be full blown demonic or not. There is no in between. There's not just a little bit of wicked and then I'm gonna be okay tomorrow. It does not benefit you or anybody else on that note. Uh, People could have been set behind. That happens. And we need to catch up then. But we can't make excuses along the way, and you do not give other people excuses for their poor behavior. That's God's house. If we truly want the kingdom of God, our God, Christ's kingdom to be on this planet, which would be the people in accordance to his laws. If law's too strong a word, then the will of God. Is that too much for people? Sorry, cupcake. This is not hell. This is planet Earth. This was made for human beings, not the wicked, not the Nephilim, not the pretend reptiles and aliens and pretend men and women. No, that's not the way it is. reality. I'm talking reality. I'm not talking what they want it to be, what it appears to be, like everybody's accepting, because everybody isn't accepting of the nonsense and the wickedness. And really, one of the biggest points of wickedness is ignorance, just ignoring it and thinking that it's going to be okay or it's going to go away. It's not. If you don't make your voice heard for the innocent, who's going to? If you believe that there's no fix in none of this, well, then by all means, be quiet forever. Because you wouldn't be helping, and you're not helping. No, who's helping? Actually change anything? Is there a public figure out there? Is there a man out there? Um, a man of God out there talking to children about same-sex relationships and the dangers that this can bring to your soul? Is there anybody out there speaking the truth to little people? What are we saying that little people can hear? Are we being approving of criminal acts? I've seen too much of that. Just ignore it. It'll go away. Well, it hasn't for thousands of years. What type of pattern are we going to leave with our video files, our legacy? Yeah. So just people need to stop making excuses for your poor behavior and don't get crabby with other people when you get down. We pick ourselves back up and we don't put it on other people. And when we've had other people bring that lower vibration into our lives, you need to keep yours higher than that. Even if you think you are, you got to go a little bit higher, even still. Surpass yourself next time. You know, it's not hard to surpass them because they're not wanting to reach any height. They think they're on the top. If your view of the top is blocked, you might think you're on the top because you can't see the next layer. There's a, a steel, uh, what would it be? A sheet of steel in between you and the top. You'd never recognize there was more because you think you're on the top already, you know? But you have to surpass that, break through that sheet of, is there something beyond? You know? Whenever you think that you're there, there's always going to be something more. The truth, we never finish learning. But you will finish learning wickedness. It's once your soul totally repels what you see going on in the world, you will truly start to speak on it. But and it won't be tolerable. Once you get to that point of non-acceptance, not we don't accept this stuff. Once you get to that point, you'll truly feel the Spirit of God talking to you. then you'll find ways to express the non-acceptance like I'm trying to do and comfort the other people that are innocent, knowing that they're not crazy for feeling normal, and we can raise our children with that feeling that's meant to be in there, you know, not the chaos and the fear and the weirdness that these little people are faced to. They're forced to embrace it is what's happening. They're it's like it's normalized. So this is the way it is, and we have to teach our children to be accepting. No, you don't. You don't do that. You teach them love and compassion, but you always also teach them who these people serve. It's not the same. It's an entity. It's not our God. It's It's posing as and opposing us, whoever us is. You know. And yes, they are accepting of the wickedness. It's not the time of day, you know. Well, that's just what's going on. We need to make our voices heard for the younger people in the world and lay the groundwork and the pattern that it isn't acceptable, and we're not just going to let them write God off the planet and his laws off the planet to serve the kingdom of the dark force. That's not going to can happen. It's been here and it needs to go. So that's my message for the day. And I need more help out here telling people that the nonsense and the wickedness is unacceptable. I am not pacifying the queers. I am not pacifying the Jews. I am not pacifying the Christians, the Muslims, my government, everybody. If you want to fall into the wicked line, that's who you show yourself to be. And that's directly the opposition and the it's the opposition to the will of God. And that's the only way I can put it. I don't care who likes it. I don't like that either. And you don't care if I like that or not either. I don't care. Because I stand against wickedness. So how tall are you going to stand on that note? I made my decision decades ago. This is not brand new to me. I'm not playing guessing games, you know. All right, everybody. I love you. Appreciate you being here. Uh, whatever. Whatever. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Take your makeup off, ladies. What they gonna do then? Freak shows.